When you left the field in Panama with that injury, Canada was still very much chasing that World Cup dream, and you'd very much been a part of it. So in those moments when you left the pitch in Panama, just give us an insight into what you were thinking at that time.
Wow, I mean, there's a lot of things that take place. Obviously, the focus is how serious was my knee at the time. What's the prognosis and what's the recovery time? Because I wanted to get back as soon as possible. When I got the tackle, what probably actually saved me from further injuring my knee was the fact that the lights went out right after. And you know, I did a couple movements, couple steps. I taped it, and just it was too loose. It was shifting all over the place, and I knew right then and there was something was wrong. But you know, you obviously come off, and after you get over, okay, you're gonna have to wait to see a specialist, so you get the exact idea what's going on. The next focus is on the team, and hopefully you know, someone who's gonna step up and you know, take that role and step in. And you know, I think we were doing well up to that point, and you know, things kind of shifted, and obviously a couple plays later, you know, Panama gets a goal, and then run uphill battle in Panama, and it's not an easy place. So from there, it was disappointment. Definitely, I felt like I kind of let the team down, even though, you know, it was an injury that it was one of those things that I couldn't prevent. But you know, you still feel, you know, because that's you put so much into it, you put so much heart, so much energy into qualifying that is devastating when you get a blow like that, you know, and then you're sitting down and you're watching your team, your country slowly fall apart, because you're not only watching it from a player standpoint, but you're also watching it from a fan, as a passionate fan, as you know, you're feeling that pressure more and more mount up on your shoulders. So all that was going through my mind.
That day, October 16th, the Canada did lose 8-1, undoubtedly one of the worst days in Canadian soccer history. Just tell us about your experience on that day, how you watched the game, and what must have been going on in your mind at that time.
Yeah, I was at home in DC, and I was you know, I was on the computer because obviously it wasn't televised, and I was watching the game and just trying to look at the energy of the players, and everything seemed good. And you know, I think the way we started was excellent. You know, we pushed them back. I thought we were playing a Honduras team that lacked a little bit of confidence, a team that had high expectations, especially after the Olympics, a team that had some great talent, and I think their fans were a little bit frustrated, because like us, they were fighting for a World Cup spot, where they you know, they were selected as the country to lead the group. So I thought we were in a pretty good position. We placed ourselves in a decent position. You know, I thought we had a couple great chances that could have shifted and altered the outcome of the game. But as we know, at this level, if you don't capitalize on those small chances or half chances, especially on the good chances, you get punished, and that's what happened. You know, granted, the goals I thought we gave up were too easy, and then once the one came and the two came, it was you know, at that time things just started to fall apart more and more. And you know, as things fell apart for us, the confidence grew more and more around the stadium, around the players, around the atmosphere, and those players really started to feel like unstoppable. And we made that environment for them, and you know, it was frustrating. It was real frustrating to see it. But I don't really want to speak too much in terms of our character, our team's character, because I know, being with those guys, I know that we truly gave everything we could to help this country out. And it was just one of those days that if it was any day that we picked to not rise to the occasion, it was that day. Yeah, well, first, before I go into the new coaching staff, you know, I definitely have to give a lot of recognition to Steven and Tony Fonseca, because I think they brought a culture into the Canadian national team where people really appreciated the style we were playing, the possession style, the attacking style, playing with flair, playing down the channels. people really appreciate that. So I think we really created and gained a whole new respect from our fans at home, and we got a whole new fan base interested into that style we were playing. They really enjoyed it, and of course, being of Caribbean descent, it was a blessing to see, after all these years of hardship that I know, we went through with the national team at various levels, to see a player from our coach, from our roots, lead our national team, was good. And the way he did it, I thought was a fantastic job. Obviously, like I said, on that day, he will be judged on that game, unfortunately, but I think all the players recognize what he brought and the different look he brought to the national team. Moving forward, I think from the speaking to Colin and the rest of the coach and staff, is they want to continue to build off that momentum, which is a plus. Obviously, there's things we need to work on, and things that still need to be addressed, and we're working on it. It's difficult now because we're looking at a whole new crop of players coming in, a youthful team, a team with a lot of energy, very inexperienced. But I think it's refreshing to see, some faces that I've never seen before, some youth, and I think there's a huge disconnect with our national team and the up and coming talent, and to see the talent now rising. I think it's refreshing. I think it's good. But like I said, of course, like all the time, there's still work to be done, and better to start implementing that from now.
You had described the 2014 World Cup as the potential ultimate dream for you. That dream has unfortunately slipped away. So looking into your future, what do you see now, particularly with the national team? What is left for you to achieve, and what are you looking to achieve with this team?
I mean, people always tell me, like, why are you coming back with the national team? Just focus on your club, and a lot of people say, but that inspires me to keep pushing, because I grew up with way too much talent. I grew up with way too much, not the opportunities that these guys have today, to just give up, to just pack it in, and I think it's important for a guy like myself to be involved in the national team as much as possible, so I could share with a lot of these young guys, first of all, our experiences, what they're going to be faced with, and not only that, but the pride and the passion when you wear that badge, and what that badge means, and represent your country, what that means. It's easy to sometimes come in and say, yes, it's a great honor and stuff, but it's not until you actually understand it at the international level, when you're playing a World Cup qualifier, when the real pressure is on, you really understand, what that feels like. And my hopes is still to make a World Cup. I still believe that Canada is very underrated in terms of the talent we have all over Canada. And as I always says, as soccer continues to develop more and more, it's only benefits our national team and the growth and development of our national team. And I know I'll be here some aspect with the national team, whether it's a player or something else, when we do make that World Cup. And I can't wait for that day.
One last question for you. We have 2 games coming up, one on Saturday against Denmark, and then off to Houston on Tuesday against the U.S. It's no secret they're 2 very difficult matches against high-quality opposition, and this is a young Canadian squad here. So that being said, what do you think the goal is in this camp for these young players to achieve?
Well, it's a great opportunity for them. I think we're going to first Denmark. Denmark is a very technical side. They're a very good team, making all the Euros and the World Cup. So I mean, their record speaks for themselves. Not taking away from the U.S., but I think Denmark is a very technical side. So how we handle that will be very interesting with the youth we have. But that's why these games are here, to see who's going to rise to the occasion, who's going to capitalize on the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing alongside a lot of these guys, the future of our national team, and 2 great games. One obviously against, like I said, a very technical Danish team, and then the U.S. is always a rivalry for us, and a U.S. team that's very good, that's very deep, have talent and dangerous in many areas. So it'll be very interesting to see how we handle that pressure away from home. So I'm looking forward to the 2 games. I'm looking forward to developing with these guys and seeing how they handle those situations and how we adapt to those situations, because at this level it's all about learning how to adapt to the environment, adapt to the situation, and handling the pressure. So these 2 games will give us a great base on how we deal with that mentally, physically, from the game standpoint.